on this beautiful Saturday afternoon of commencement. I'm glad to welcome you all to this virtual environment. Wishing we could be together jointly in one big room, crammed together shoulder to shoulder, but unfortunately, as we all know, it's not possible. So we've gone for the next best thing. The last time I looked, we've got about 60 people sitting around on this Zoom call and another 20 or more that are watching us on the YouTube link. So I am hopeful that this proves to be a valuable experience for everyone involved. Also, just a slight word about a difference that we're trying, and that is I'm trying to put the focus back to you, the students. This has been a particularly trying 15 months. It included all of your senior year. And as a parent of somebody who went through the 2020 debacle, I know the impact. And I can only imagine how much greater the impact must be to some of you. We appreciate the hard work. We appreciate the perseverance. I'm trying to avoid those overused words like resilience and pivot and everything else that we've heard ad nauseum over the last several weeks. But this is not going to be about me. This is going to be about you. And so one of the things that we had asked early on is if there would be any students that would like to say a few words, that would like to speak about this year or acknowledge their colleagues or anyone else. And I believe that at least one or two of you were brave enough to say that you would like to do so. So at this point, Gabe, I would like you to invite in any student or students that would like to share a few words with us.
Oh, okay. Hi guys, it's been a really amazing 4 years in the department. And I am really grateful to have been offered the privilege to study in this place that has such diverse options and be able to really dive in what really interests me. So I would really like to thank, obviously my family, who I know is watching from the other room, for being so supportive through this time. I would really love to thank Dr. OHMER for being my advisor on my thesis project, and also being amazingly supportive. And especially to Professor Spoonhauer, who's been a real mentor for the past year and teaching such amazing classes. And I'd like to thank basically all the faculty that I've taken classes with for really sparking my interest in all of these different topics. So I'm hoping I will keep in touch with you guys in the years to come. Thank you guys very much.
Hi guys. Oh, hi. I'm Pam WOJCIK, and I'm going to start us off on our awards. So we give these awards every year to honor students who have excelled and made particular impacts in the department. We'd love to give every student a prize, especially this year, but in any case, because you're all so vital to the department. We know that much of the work that you all do is collaborative, and that you all lift each other up. And it's beautiful to see how much you guys support each other and help each other. So when we're recognizing these students, we're recognizing students who embody the best of what FTT does, but I think it happens across the board. So the first award is the Joseph P. O'Toole Award for Excellence in Film Studies. And I have the privilege, we're going to give it to two students. I have the privilege to give it to the first student, Phil Lally, who I think deserves an award for just surviving 4 courses and a thesis with me. But apparently his work across the curriculum has marked him out as a star. So Phil, you can say a few words now.
Thanks so much, Professor WOJCIK. And to reiterate what Mary said, thanks to all the faculty at FTT that have inspired me and captured my interest over these last 4 years. Even this morning, I was talking to some of my friends and my parents, my family, about FTT in general. And I just think it's marvelous how this department and these courses kind of capture things that we all experience in some ways. Even my friends at Notre Dame that weren't arts and letters at all in the College of Engineering and Business and all sorts of other disciplines, they were really always genuinely engaged to hear what we were up to and what we were studying. And I think that that kind of speaks to the utility of FTT and to what we had to the notion that what we do really can kind of resonate with a lot of people. And it's not just in the department of some bookworms or academics, it's media and films and entertainment and things that we all come across every day, and kind of capturing how those things work in our lives. And all these courses, FTT has been great. I've loved every moment of it, and I'm very honored and flattered by this award. So thank you, Professor WOJCIK. Thanks, my family. Thank you, all the other faculty of FTT. You guys have been delightful, and I've loved these last 4 years. So thanks so much.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted Barron. I'm the executive director of the DeBartolo Performing Arts Center, and I also teach film history classes within the department. It's a great privilege to work with so many of you students. This year, I have the privilege of presenting the second recipient of the O'Toole Award to Ellen O'Brien. Ellie, I've worked with Ellie over about 3 semesters, and it's been a real privilege to get to know her as a critical thinker, but also to see her work, to see her creative work. I had the privilege of sitting in on a table read for her thesis presentation, for an early presentation of her thesis for the script of The Bent and the Broken, which she worked on with Terrence Brown. And she's really just demonstrated some of the best qualities of our department, which is an interest that goes beyond just a single area and reaches out to a lot of different and varied interests. So congratulations to Ellie O'Brien.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ted. That was really, really nice. So hard to follow Phil. Phil, when I heard I won this award with you, I was just like that was the real award. I was like, Phil is so smart. So honestly, that's an honor. I want to thank Ted, Terrence for advising me on my thesis, Professors BECKER, GARCIA-ROMERO, WOJCIK, Dr. OHMER, really all the FTT faculty and my fellow students. This has just been the most rewarding thing. I can't imagine my college experience without it. Definitely echo everything Phil has said. I want to thank my family who's here, sitting across from them, trying not to laugh, and all my friends, my professors in other departments for really, sparking to apply to FTT stuff, to the thesis that I wrote. I don't know. Thank you so much. I'm so happy, and I echo everything Phil said, and I love you all. Thank you.
Wow, it is so good to hear from all of you. This is not an ideal way to have this conversation, but it's also pretty great. I think sometimes there's a misconception that professors somehow are the ones who bring energy into the room. And the reality is that all of that comes from you. The most we can ever do is harness it and redirect it and kind of kick it back out. And I'm confident that I speak for all of the FTT faculty in thanking all of you for your patience and your generosity and your intelligence that you shared with us for not just this one long difficult year, but for 3 or 4 years, most of you. And you made this year not just survivable, but sometimes even enlightening and really enriching. Chat. As one of the recipients of the Karen Croak-Heisler Award for Television Studies, Caroline is an example of that spirit, and we are grateful for Caroline. We're grateful for all of your hard work in the department and the remarkable energy you brought to the classroom. So and this while working as an RA this year, which has to have been one of the more miserable jobs on campus. So Caroline, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Professor KACKMAN, and many congratulations on your award that is so well deserved. I'm sorry I kind of lost my voice, but I just wanted to thank all of the FTT professors in the television department, Professor KACKMAN, Professor Kearney, Becker, Dr. OHMER, Professor Payne. I've learned so much from all of you, and I'm so happy I added FTT after my freshman year. It really enhanced my undergraduate experience, and I can't thank you enough for all of the knowledge I've learned from all of you. And I just want to say congratulations to all of my classmates, and I can't wait to see what everyone does next. So I hope everyone has a great weekend, and congrats to everybody.
Okay, and we have co-recipients of the Karen Croak Heisler Award, and so the second awardee is Ryan Israel, and I was lucky enough to teach Ryan right at the start of his FTT career. He was student of my basics of film and TV intro class, and then my history of TV class the next semester. And his great promise was already evident then, and it's been really fun watching him forge his unique path since. And one of the great pleasures of TV studies is that it's not just about TV. It's a gateway to all sorts of media and entertainment forms, including music, which is clearly one of Ryan's great loves. So I'm really grateful our program has offered him an avenue to further that interest. And beyond just the high quality of his work, I think that makes him a really appropriate symbol of our TV studies program, and thus a very worthy recipient of the Heisler Award for outstanding work in our TV concentration. So congratulations, Ryan, and I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thank you, Professor Becker. I'd like to thank the Academy and the Hollywood Foreign Press. I'd like to thank my family. I would like to especially thank the professors who taught me everything about television, Professor Becker, Professor Kearney, and Professor Sieber, and the ones who taught me everything about film, Professor Brown, and Professor Payne. And because this is an award for television, I wanted to thank the television shows specifically that made me fall in love with television, all of these critically acclaimed. They are Arthur, Jimmy Neutron, Drake and Josh, Lost, Gossip Girl, Breaking Bad, The Wire, True Detective, High Maintenance, Atlanta, and most recently Z-Way. I want to thank everyone in FTT. It's an honor to receive this award. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rick Donnelly, and I'm pleased to give the FTT Theater Alumni Award to Katie Paulsen. This award is given to the graduating senior for outstanding work in theater, and Katie has definitely done this. She's a double major in economics and FTT. She's also a Glenn Scholar. I've known Katie since her first semester on campus, and I've had the privilege to have her in one of my classes all 7 semesters following that. So I can tell you with confidence that her work in both the classroom and in the costume shop has been exemplary. It's been fantastic. She's a very innovative and creative costume designer, and she's a very skilled costume maker. She's worked on the period costumes for staging the Daffy Dame and designed the 1960s flashback period costumes for An Old Family Recipe. And if you saw our honors thesis, you would know that it was stunning. It was absolutely amazing. In the fall, Katie's entering the MFA costume design program at San Diego State. So Katie, thank you for your outstanding costume work this past 4 years. It's been a pleasure working with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rick. Sorry, my voice is kind of lost, but yeah, thank you so much for all your help and all your mentoring over the years. I'm so thankful that I took your Moreau freshman year, because otherwise I don't know where I would be, maybe an economist, but not a very good one. Yeah, and thank you to just the entire FTT department and faculty. I've had such an amazing time over the years, especially working in the shop, and just some of the classes I've been able to take, especially the period costume making class where we got to go to New York. It was just like a dream come true for me. And so I've just had the best time in the FTT department, and I and could not be more thankful. And I also want to thank my parents who are sitting right here and trying to tell me how to use Zoom this whole time. So yeah, thank you so much. And Rick, I hope that you have an amazing retirement in Maine, and congratulations to you as well. Oh, and I also want to shout out Lynn Holbrook. I don't know if she's on this call, but she's also been an amazing mentor to me over the years as well. Thank you.
So I'm up next again. Kevin Dreyer, you may remember me from earlier in the call. When I was reaching out to faculty members to see who could pass out some of these awards and distribute, so there were more faces visible to you and more comments from different faculty members. When it came to music theater, of course, I approached Matt Hawkins. Matt, unfortunately, is tied up today and unable to join us on the Zoom. So he said, well, Kevin, I guess it's up to you, at which point I went, yes, okay. I have seen Ronnie in a bunch of different capacities and have been very pleased to watch the development of the work that we were able to film and then premiered as a YouTube live event last night. And the maturity of both her carriage and her deportment in the theater, in classrooms, in rehearsals, in performance, coupled with the growing maturity of her, truly impressive to watch. And I feel it's a great honor to be able to say that, yes, I was part of that project, even though for most of the time hiding from the camera and pushing buttons on my computer. It's still, so Veronica, not just for the work on Old Family Recipe, but for your connection to the music theater minor throughout your time with it, we're very pleased to offer you the Music Theater Award.
Thank you so much, Professor Dreyer. I'm so grateful for this award and just for the opportunity that I've had to work with you as well as all of the professors in theater and in FTT generally. I just could not be more grateful. I want to thank my family as well, and just thank you all for this unique opportunity. I think only at Notre Dame would be able to put on a musical during a pandemic and do so in such a unique and creative way. And I really could not have done that without the support from my professors and from the entire department. So thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and yeah, thank you all.
Hello, my name is Ann Garcia-Romero, and I am pleased to be giving the to a senior who has done outstanding work in the areas of playwriting or literature. This year's recipient wrote and presented a virtual staged reading of her senior thesis play entitled To Be Well. Lovingly explores the connections between spirituality and it is my great privilege to award the Frederick Seabrook Award to Julia Goldschmidt. Julia?
Thank you so much, Anne. I am so grateful to be receiving this award, and from you no less. Anne has been my mentor for pretty much 5 years now, even before college, and to get to take classes about playwriting with you and then have you advise my thesis was such an honor. I'd like to thank the entire FTT department, especially my professors in theater who have these past 4 years. I really came into Notre Dame as a big theater kid, a musical theater kid from grade school and high school, and the FTT department has really, I feel molded me and formed me into a very well-rounded of theater. So thank you so much to the entire FTT department. I'd also me today, my mom and my dad and my sister Lindsay, as well as all of my classmates. It's been a journey. It's been a blessing to journey with you the past 4 years. So once again, thank you so much for this award and congrats to everybody.
I'm Ted Mandel from the film production. This kind of has a feel of like the Emmys, doesn't it? Or the Oscars, where everybody's on location, not able to actually receive their award, but they accept the award on location. I'm here to present the Broad Avenue Filmmakers Award, which is given to the outstanding seniors for film production, filmmaking. And there's an award for nonfiction filmmaking and an award for fiction filmmaking. And lo and behold, this year we have 2 students who probably could have won either one of them. It was my honor. I got to work with both Bella Martinez and KILIAN VIDOUREK in documentary production as well as in intro to production. So I got to see them on both sides of the fiction, nonfiction world. And they are amazingly, who on a whim and a prayer took off to Sand Branch, Texas, Bella, and Portland, Oregon, KILIAN, in documentary production, and have done some amazing work in fiction production as well. And given the fact that half of this was done during a pandemic. So I am honored to give the Broad Avenue Filmmaking Award for nonfiction filmmaking to Bella Martinez and the Broad Avenue Filmmaking Award for fiction filmmaking to KILIAN VIDOUREK.
Hi, I just wanted to thank you, Professor Mandel, for helping me with just that whole experience. You really helped bring this story that we were really trying to dig out into the forefront and helped us kind of spread the message on Sand Branch. Thank you so much for the award. Thank you to the FTT program. It's been wonderful. And yeah, thank you for a wonderful 4 years.
I told Jeff Spoonhauer, I want to make a movie on a farm. I'm going to take my dad. We're going to go out there, do a score all with synthesizers and banjos and make a movie. And we did it last semester down in Plymouth, Indiana. It was so fun. And to think that I came from making my first ever movie where I put on a green bathrobe and called myself the superhero, the Green Robin, that I'm over here making real professional movies at FTT. I couldn't be more happy and more thankful for this department. Ted, Jeff, Bill, everybody, thank you so much. Professor Pam with that amazing critical approaches class. Just thank you to everybody for a great 4 years and let me keep making movies. I'm not stopping anytime soon.
Hi, my name is Ken Cole, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm the technical director for the theater concentration, and I teach classes in theatrical production and special effects. And it is my pleasure to present the Reginald Bain Award. And this award is presented to the Notre Dame student who produces remarkable theater projects from any area of theater during the academic year. And it's my pleasure to award this to Sydney KRAFT. And my favorite memory going forward of working with Sydney will be the gazillion takes that we did in burning the oven for Old Family Recipe. I was crouched behind the oven, take after take, and she reacted flawlessly every time as if surprised that the oven was on fire. Sydney?
Thank you so much, Ken, and thank you for sitting behind that oven that whole time and having to deal with that. I know there were a lot of takes about that. Thank you so much, everyone. Being a part of FTT and all of the theatrical productions these past 4 years have brought me some memories and friendships that I will never forget. Thank you to all of my professors who put up with me stressing about grades constantly and teaching me not only to how to be a better and more well-rounded performer, to also being a better person as well. Everything I've learned over these past 4 years, I will take with me after graduation. And speaking directly to Old Family Recipe, thank you specifically to Veronica and MANSOUR for writing such an important show, and Matt Hawkins for giving me a chance to play such a challenging and rewarding character, and the rest of the cast and crew to help make one of the scariest semesters to one that I will never forget and one of the best ones yet. Thank you and congratulations to all the seniors.
Hi, I'm Stacey Stewart, FTT's Outreach Specialist, and I am delighted to present the FTT Ambassador Award, which is given to the student who best represents the goals and ideals of the Department of Film, Television, and Theater. In this particular case, through dedicated and enthusiastic participation in departmental activities, including but not limited to recruiting new theater students, supporting FTT's outreach to local schools, performing in 1 million shows, and always wearing his FTT t-shirt with a smile. The FTT Ambassador Award goes to Gabriel KRUT.
It would be fitting that I would mess up unmuting myself on Zoom as I try to make all of this work. Thank you so much, Stacy, for presenting me with this award. Thank you to all of the professors that I've had over the years who put up with me being obnoxious in their classes and then crying in their office hours, so that the ones I had later in my years here didn't have to see me cry as much. Thank you to everyone who wasn't a professor and still put up with me, ranging the staff at DPAC who just been incredibly supportive and would entertain just about any crazy idea I had. Josh Engel most recently lending me a microphone for the semester just to play with it. Thank you so much to my friends who are here, many of which who have graduated in the past, particularly the seniors, Eric Ways and Tanner Cipriano, who made me feel so welcome in the department and sort of set the tone for me on how to behave as a senior now. And I know I wouldn't be anywhere where I am now doing the things that I'm doing were it not for all of the people I've mentioned so far. So thank you to everyone associated with Notre Dame. Thank you to my family watching this virtually. Thank you to Mom and Dad for driving me to rehearsals and not trying to talk me out of theater. Thank you to my sisters for also being creatively minded and encouraging me to do the same. Yeah, just a lot of thanks. I really appreciate all of you, and I'm going to think back fondly, believe it or not, on these past 4 years.
All right, good afternoon, families, and congratulations to our seniors. My name is Matthew Payne. I'm presenting the Voterist Award. If that word voterist is not in your vocabulary, don't feel bad. It's not really in ours either. A votary is a devout or a zealous worshiper or a devoted admirer of something. And so this award recognizes a student who excels in the classroom, but who also goes a step further to pursue knowledge outside of the classroom. And this year's recipient is Jack Emory. During his 4 years with us, Jack displayed an intellectual curiosity across a number of his classes, and he combined his work in FTT with coursework in Catholic social tradition. He was recently admitted to Notre Dame's ACE program, which stands for Alliance for Catholic Education. And so after he completes the summer's ACE program, he'll be teaching 4th graders in Phoenix, Arizona. Just a real quick note, he did not learn that in any of my classes. And so if you and your family go to the grotto this weekend, keep Jack in mind. At this point, I'll pass the virtual mic to Jack and invite him to share any thoughts or reflections about his experiences here. Jack.
Thank you all so much. This is a huge honor, and receiving an award is kind of exciting, but it's way more meaningful when it's coming from a department that I care so deeply about and from people that I respect and admire so much. I really need to thank DPAC for being a second home, to thank my family for letting me be a film and television major, to thank my classmates for making class always fun, and to thank the faculty for making just every class so engaging and worthwhile. Specifically, I want to thank you, Professor Payne. Your mentorship and your courses have almost made tuition at this university worth it. So we'll see over time, but just thank you, everyone. Congrats to everyone. I've loved my time with DPAC because what we do here and what we study and create is really worthwhile, and I've loved every second of my time at this university because of you guys. Thank you.
So I'm going to invite, if we can get Pam, there she is, split screen. Pam and I have been sharing chair duties this year. I'm sure most of you are aware of that. And so when it came time to discuss the Chairs Award, we shared that duty as well. So Pam, do you want to let people know what the award's for?
Why, Kevin? Yes, I will. And I want to thank Kevin, as if this year wasn't bonkers enough. I started as chair and immediately went on leave. So Kevin has done an amazing job in stepping up, another sign of the lovely atmosphere of FTT. So the Chairs Award is a special award that is aimed at really finding a student who has taken advantage of the department as a whole. So rather than sort of film or TV or theater, someone who traverses the disciplines and has engaged deeply across them and made an impact. And I'm going to let Kevin say who this year's award goes to.
So when we were talking about who we wanted to point to and say, this is somebody who has really taken advantage, we thought about a lot of different people because we have worked in this department to try to break down the barriers, but the students frequently tend to think of themselves in one category or another. And so it was a great joy to discover that somebody that I thought of as a theater practitioner and somebody that was so totally focused on theater was also very well known by film and television faculty members. And so it gives me a great deal of joy to be able to invite on to recognize Allison Croucher as the recipient of the Chairs Award.
Hooray, Allison.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so honored and so touched. And thank you, Pam. Thank you, Kevin. I have to say, I don't know if you can hear, my family's in the other room, but I have to say that when I first came to Notre Dame, I knew I wanted to be FTT major, and I sat down with Joanne Morris and I was like, can I triple concentrate? She was like, absolutely not. And I said, how about a double concentration? And she was like, maybe, but probably not. And you couldn't do any minors. And so thankfully the musical theater minor came along. I picked that up. I chose film, and I have to say that FTT has completely guided what I want to do career-wise, because like the award kind of describes, I couldn't pick. I loved them all, and I wanted to experience professors in all facets of all of the departments. So I really can't name professors because I've experienced and worked with so many of you, and you all have touched my heart in so many ways. And I can't imagine my Notre Dame experience without FTT. I sing its praises to everyone I can. Like Phil, my friends love hearing about it, or maybe they just act like they do because they like me, hopefully. But FTT has given me so much. I've grown so much as a person, and it's given me truly some of my best friends that I know I'll have for life, and mentors and professors that I know I can always reach out to and ask how they're doing or check in. So thank you again for this award, and thank you to my parents and my family, for my parents for believing in me as an FTT major, not questioning that from the get-go. And so thank you, everyone.
So this concludes the list of the actual specific awards. But one of the other things that we do when we are gathered together for our final reception normally, and I wanted to continue this tradition virtually, is we ask one of our faculty members who has been advising thesis students to talk to us about the thesis recipients and acknowledge those thesis writers that also were granted honors. So for that, I would like to invite Susan Omer to come on screen and read us some names and explain the process of honors.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Here we go, thanks. As Kevin mentioned, we had 8 students complete senior thesis projects this year. Everyone received honors. There was no question about the quality of the work that was done. So we were very happy to award everyone honors. And it's my pleasure to read the names of the people who worked on senior thesis projects, the title of their projects, and the names of their advisors. And many of you have spoken. If somebody's here and hasn't, and you'd like to, why don't we do that at the end, and you can shoot Patrick an email or something in the chat just to let him know. Okay, so first up, I'll read them in alphabetical order, was Ashley Cavuto, who not only did a senior thesis project, but as many of you know, published a novel as well. I mean, I know we're all overachievers, but good grief. I can't wait to read it. The parts I've seen are fabulous. The title of her senior thesis project was The Secret History and the Complex Representations of Literature as Film, also known as A Bookworm's Guide to Love and Heartbreak. And her advisor was Terrence Brown. Another thesis writer Mary Crawford, your very own Star Wars story, experiencing design at Galaxy's Edge, and I had the pleasure of serving as Mary's advisor. Next up is Jack Emery. The title of his senior thesis project was A Renaissance of Middlemen. His advisor was Matthew Payne. Julia Goldschmidt, as we heard, developed a project called To Be Well, exploring the relationship between spirituality and mental health. And her advisor was Anne Garcia-Romero. Phil Lally wrote on appreciating the elusive, allusiveness of a music auteur, models of auteur spectatorship in the compilation scores of Wes Anderson. His advisor was Pam WOJCIK. Ellie O'Brien, her thesis project was The Bent and the Broken, crafting an original screenplay with a social commentary. Her advisor was Terrence Brown. Katie Paulsen developed those fabulous costumes that we saw at the thesis projects, exploring fabric modification techniques, designing and constructing costumes for A Midsummer Night's Dream. Her advisor was Rick Donnelly. And the last but not least name of someone who completed a senior thesis project was Mariella Stevens, How to Catch a Mad Dog. And her advisor was Anne Garcia-Romero. Congratulations to each of you. It was really a pleasure to work with you and a joy to see your projects develop over the course of the year. So bravo to each of you.
So once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank the faculty members who have presented and those who have simply showed up to support. There are a great number of you here, and we always appreciate the enthusiasm that all of you show for our majors. I want to reassure anybody that any of the students who may have wanted to say something and did not think to sign up ahead of time, or for whatever reason you're being at all bashful, please do shoot a chat message out. I've got the chat open beside me, and if I see a name come up, I will just step aside and let somebody else step in and speak. I'm not going to drag this out, though, for that purpose. I just wanted to say that this has been a wonderful experience hearing all of your reflections. It has been such a joy to be able to turn the floor over to somebody who brings a different perspective. We know what we're trying to do. We know what we hope people will take away from their time here, their time in our classroom, and their time involved in our projects. But we particularly enjoy then hearing your reflections, your responses, and your reactions. We don't have enough room for that kind of process in the academy writ large, and we're trying to chip away at that here in the department and create some of those opportunities. So with a great deal of thanks for those of you who either were coerced into speaking or were courageous enough to speak, we appreciate you making this event what it has become today. And I want to close by just saying it is an honor to be able to look at these names, colleagues and students, and be able to call all of you friends and companions on this journey. And this has been quite a journey. And so I thank you all for your patience and grace to one another and to us, because we all needed some of that this year. We're now going to close with the same kind of slideshow that we had at the opening when people came aboard. And unfortunately, we can't see it on the Zoom. So at some point, I would invite you to go over to the YouTube and watch it, because it'll have its own set of memories for you. And I also believe the Zoom will not shut down immediately, so that if anybody feels the need to try to communicate with one of us and didn't want to do it publicly, we'll stay on for another 5 minutes or so to be able to greet people individually if you would like. So with that, Gabe, I will turn it back to you for the slideshow, and we'll go back to our private Zoom. And thanks everybody who was watching online.